Today, I'm going to talk about something other than video games. Now don't worry, for my next top 10 I'm going to go back to video games, but for now, I'm going to talk about something else that I love. Sports. I love sports. Well, I love watching sports. Well, I love watching most sports. There are some sports that actually kind of piss me off, and make me wonder how anyone can find them enjoyable. Now please remember, this is just my opinion. Don't be offended if your favorite sport is on this list. But these are my top 5 worst sports that you couldn't pay me to watch. Well, actually, I probably would watch them if I got paid, but that's beside the point. Anyway, here's the list. Enjoy.
Number 5.
Soccer. Now, I know this is like the stereotypical American answer, but it's just my opinion. I really can't stand soccer. To me, it's just boring. I mean, scores are typically 3-2 or 2-1 or 0-0. If I paid money to see a soccer game and the score ended 0-0, I would be fucking pissed. Like, what did I just watch that for? Someone could have told me nothing happened. It would have saved me some money and 2 hours of my life. Another thing is the faking injuries. Now, I've watched one soccer game from beginning to end, and every single time 2 people made contact, they would flop around like rag dolls, and if they call a foul, one of them gets pissed off, and if they don't call a foul, the other one gets pissed off. And what's with the celebrations? Like, every time someone scores a goal, they act like they just scored the first goal in the history of soccer. It's like, fuck, calm down and keep playing. You're just wasting time we have to add to the end of the game. And one final thing, soccer crowds suck. Unlike most sports where if the player messes up, you might boo him, in soccer, they just throw like a fucking firecracker at the person.
Number 4.
Lacrosse. Now, I don't really have too much to say about this one, but every time I see it on TV, I say the same thing to myself. Any sport where you can just smack someone in the face with a stick doesn't involve skill. Imagine if in baseball, if someone was trying to steal second, the catcher throws him out by a mile, but the runner just punches the second baseman in the face. He drops the ball, and then the runner is called safe. It's retarded. You just have to be big. And maybe that's why I hate it, because I weigh like 18 pounds. And maybe that's why baseball is my favorite sport, because although most players are ripped as fuck, it actually involves skill. More so than probably any other sport.
Number 3.
Fishing. Definitely one of the dumbest sports ever. Like, it's fishing. Can you really be good at fishing? I think the best fisher in the world shouldn't be called the best fisher. He should be called the dumbest fish getter. Like, a person's skill at fishing mostly depends on whether or not that fish is hungry. It would actually probably be more exciting to put a camera in the water and take bets on which fish will bite first. And another thing, in most sports, there's something like a minor leagues, you know, where like people who are very good at the game, but not quite good enough to play at the highest level play. But in fishing, everyone's just in a lake. Like, it doesn't get harder. I caught a fish in Boy Scouts and I was like 8. Does that make me a fisher? Why not? It's exactly what they do. It's like getting a hit off of a major league pitcher. I caught a fish in a pond. Now put me on TV.
Number 2.
NASCAR. Just like soccer, I find NASCAR boring as fuck. It's just driving in circles. And the people that drive the cars don't do anything. You don't have to be like athletic to drive a car. And it's not like horse racing where you have to train your horse. They're just driving a car. The only interesting parts are the crashes, which is why I have an idea to make NASCAR 100 times more interesting. At the start of the race, instead of every car going the same direction around the track, half of the cars go clockwise, and half of the cars go counterclockwise around it. And everyone drives double-decker buses. That would be, by far, the greatest sport to watch ever.
Number 1.
Bowling. Bowling is, by far, the worst sport of all time to watch. Now remember, this is sports to watch. It's kind of fun to play with friends, but watching it sucks balls. Think about it. What makes sports great? It's the fact that no two games are the same, and each of them requires a different strategy every time. Now, imagine being someone who analyzes the strategy of bowling. What do you think this guy's going to try to do? Well, I think he's going to try to knock down all the pins. And he did. He's so smart. Alright, now what about this guy? Well, in my expert opinion, I think he should try and knock down all the pins. Knock down all the pins this time. And he did. Alright, now what about this guy? Alright, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that he's gonna try to knock down all the pins. And he didn't? Ha! What a fucking loser! And that's the other thing. They're expected to get a strike every time. That'd be like in baseball if the batter was supposed to hit a home run every time, otherwise he'd fail. How would that be fun? Well, it isn't. It blows butt chunks.